Hi guys, good afternoon. It is March 29th, Sunday. Welcome to Spiritual Judo. For Sustainable Jesus, I'm your host, Mark Rego-Monteiro. Let's go, let's get going. And so I wanted to start us off with a little music to stimulate the old psychosomatic medical boosting physiology. Or it's a psychosomatic medical technique to boost our psychoneuroimmunology. And here it is. Playing off credit to a friend of mine, professor in Chicago, John Marshall.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach.
Right? Mike Myers as Austin Powers, right? No, yes! Right? Funny movie, far too little referred to these days, in my opinion. Okay, so moving from the music, wonderful music like that, for the psychosomatic medical benefits and spiritual benefits as part of that. Then moving to my Facebook postings, let's go over just a few of that, just to give it some structure. Just go over a few of these, a few of those, a few of these. So, this is an article, a friend of mine here in Brazil who doesn't even speak English that I know of. Is our fight against coronavirus worse than the disease? From the New York Times, I think it's several weeks ago now. 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. I think, is it David Katz, or Dan or David Katz from Yale University, a specialist in public health, who made the argument against shutting down the economy altogether. And that's a point of view I support wholeheartedly. Being heavily oriented towards the social issues with a biological background, my degree in bioanthropology has led my thinking in that respect, and with a degree in international relations, right? So he doesn't really get into the psychosocial and human needs that people have, and the way that's impacted by socioeconomic activity. But I think I've come up with a basic, simple way to kind of encapsulate that issue and concern. We are not hunter-gatherers anymore, nor are we Tibetan monks, Tibetan Buddhist monks, right? We are Westerners, Americans and Europeans, for example, who are extremely limited in it's safe to presume that many of us are limited in our capacity to endure a long-term, an extended shutdown of the economy. We need to remember the approaches of Sweden, Singapore, Taiwan, and so on. The other few countries in addition to them who haven't shut down, but have merely increased their public health alerts appropriately. And I believe there is quite a bit of self-imposed quarantining going on in those countries. But then there's another argument fully made. Now, David or Dan Katz here makes his argument, and doesn't really get into the details of the socioeconomic. But there's a German guy in this, in another article that I found somewhere here, at Deutsche Welt, who argues very strongly that the resources that are being promised to a shutdown economy and the businesses in a shutdown economy could be freed up for additional medical strategies, a public health response. The United States, I know, is building, has the U.S. engineers, right? The Corps of Engineers is building medical facilities in preparation. So that's good stuff. And with the limited shutdown of the economy, that's the kind of thing that needs to be focused on. The high-risk groups, pre-existing conditions, the elderly, and then the infected, targeting the infected, right? And then the maintaining the alert around practices, health, anti-contagion practices, right? Decontamination at home, and with the use of masks and social distancing. All right, so now the other aspect here, far too little talked about. Let me just check the time here. How are we doing? Okay, 6 minutes. I'll just go into this. This was a conference at Harvard in 2014. Neil Krauss of the University of Michigan School of Public Health, referred to 3,000 studies that link religious behavior to positive physiological benefits, which I was linking with a study by Gail Ironson, MD, PhD of the University of Miami, trained at Wisconsin, Stanford, regarding the belief in a benevolent God, belief in practices around a benevolent God, which boosts immune system vigor by 4.5 times in terms of white blood cell count, CD4s, and lower viral load, presumably in the same proportion. So, and then there's a testimony to healing there. These are available on YouTube. And vitamin D. Vitamin D apparently has quite a potent role to play in fighting coronavirus. So get some sun. Get your sun or eat your egg yolks and take your supplements. Okay? So I'll end this segment. See you in a moment.